Hey, I'm Joy. Although there are many awards for cinema, the most famous is the Oscar. Winning an Oscar is any filmmaker's dream because it represents world class recognition, sparks dialogue beyond film circles, and brings artistic satisfaction and commercial success together, which is why it becomes the ultimate goal for a filmmaker. Let's try to learn more about the Oscars. Welcome to the Joy of Cinema. The Oscar Awards were first presented about a century ago. At that time, film production and exhibition began in many parts of the world. Most European and Asian countries were making and exhibiting films, but America was far ahead of all of them. Not only was it ahead in production, but it also had a monopoly on film distribution. In those days, Hollywood films were distributed worldwide, crossing all barriers, including language. Audiences all over the world saw those films even though they didn't know the language, and the culture was entirely foreign, unlike today. During those days, American films reigned over the world of movies. Actors like Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, Buster Keaton, Lillian Gish, and Mary Pickford have achieved international stardom. In 1878, one of the early film photographers, Edward Muybridge, invented the motion picture with the support of Leland Stanford in America. In 1895, the Lumiere brothers held the first commercial cinema exhibition in Paris. In 1892, Thomas Alva Edison established the world's first film studio, the Black Maria, in America, and started showing tiny films known as actualities that lasted only for seconds. An actuality film is a non-fiction film that captures real events, places, and people without any story structure or any other interference. Thereafter, America took over the scene. Many film studios sprung up and ventured into film production, fiction film production with interesting storylines. The studios arranged shooting on all terraces with sunlight, and screening was held wherever a curtain could be drawn. A hall, a large room, or any open space during the night was enough to hold a film show. Later, they built film theaters and cinemas to show movies regularly at fixed time, and the duration of the movies kept increasing. The working class in America embraced cinema wholeheartedly. Film stars were born, and the fans gathered to see their stars on the screen over and over again. They cried and laughed with their favorite stars and got emotionally attached. Over the next 10 to 20 years, movies entertained them more than anything else, and going to the cinema became a habit and a way of life for the average American. Hollywood was growing, breaking all boundaries. By the way, it was D.W. Griffith who founded Hollywood in Los Angeles. He went there to shoot one of his films titled In Old California in 1910. And that was the first film shot in Hollywood, which is located in the neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. Hollywood is also known as the Tinsel Town. Hollywood began to consider the Oscars at the beginning of the golden age when the film business was rapidly developing as an industry. As the film industry has grown, many labor and artistic problems have also arisen as byproducts. They often reached a point where they got out of hand and began to affect the making of movies in general and their artistic values in particular. At this stage, there was a demand from many quarters for a center or an organization to mediate the increasing labor disputes in the film industry and to evaluate and improve the artistic values of the film. Finally, in 1927, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, AMPAS in short, was formed under the leadership of Louis B. Mayer, head of the MGM studio. It consisted of 36 distinguished personalities of the time of the film industry, including Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, Harold Lloyd, among others. And 2 years later, on the 16th May 1929, the first Academy Awards were announced, recognizing the best films and performances of 1927 and 28. The award ceremony took place at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles. Only a few categories such as Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best screenplay, art direction, and engineering effects were awarded at that time. And that too only for Hollywood films, films that made in America. The first Oscar for Best Film was awarded to the silent film Wings, produced by Paramount Pictures. The film also won the award for the Best Engineering Effects. The film was directed by William Wellman and photographed by Harry Perry. The award for the Best Artistic Film has gone to Sunrise, produced by Fox Film Corporation and directed by F.W. Morneau. The first Oscar for the Best Actor went to Emil Jannings, and Best Actress was Janet Gaynor. Charlie Chaplin also received a special Oscar for directing the comedy picture titled The Circus. The award ceremony was hosted by the president of the Academy, actor Douglas Fairbanks, who was known as the king of the silent cinema. Over the following years, the importance of the Oscars gradually increased. The award ceremony, which started as a small private gathering of filmmakers, became a big event. Meanwhile, the Academy Awards is increasingly referred as the Oscars. It is an interesting story of how it came about. Margaret Herrick, the Academy's librarian, was surprised when she saw the statue of the Academy Awards for the first time and exclaimed, "This looks like my uncle Oscar." It is said that the statue was named at that instant and it remained. Of course, there are other claims and stories behind it. Credit for naming the awards as the Oscar is attributed to several sources, including actress Betty Davis, who was nominated for the award 9 times and won it twice as Best Actress, and freelance journalist, actor, and producer Sidney Skolsky, who used to write a column. He was the first person to use the nickname Oscar in print for the Academy Award in his column on the 17th of March 1934. Anyway, the Academy Awards were fondly referred as Oscars. It is said that the Academy adopted that name in 1939. Officially, it is Academy Award of Merit. The statue is better known by its nickname Oscar. Television came to America in 1953, and soon the Oscar ceremony was taken over by television. Therefore, from the 50s, the Oscar Award ceremony became a very popular television event. It quickly reaches the public and gains their recognition too. Hence, its audience kept increasing all over the world. At some point, it feels wrong to limit the Oscar only to America, recognizing that remarkable films are also made in other countries. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science also felt the need to consider this reality and started giving honorary awards to films from other countries. As a result, in 1947, Shine, an Italian film directed by the master director De Sica, also the director of one of the world classics, The Bicycle Thief, received recognition. That was his first international recognition. Later, the Academy created a category called Best Foreign Language Film to accommodate feature films from other countries and programmed it in such a way that each country can nominate their best film for the Oscars. Thus, films from other countries also started being considered for the Oscars. This award was given to the Italian film at first, La Strada, directed by Federico Fellini, another renowned film director. That was happened in 1957. Italian films have won this award 14 times, followed by France 12 times, and Japan with 5. However, the Oscar for Best Foreign Film category has been renamed since 2020 as Best International Feature Film. In the United States, there was much criticism of the nomination for films, especially in the Best Actor and Best Actress categories. Many argued that only white actors are nominated and awarded, and they started a movement called Oscars So White. In 2015, the movement intensified its pressure, and the Academy took steps to include black Americans and expanded its membership. One of the most important aspects of the Oscars is the voting system enacted by the Academy members. The Academy today consists of more than 9,000 film professionals from various fields of cinema, including directors, actors, writers, and technicians. These members are divided into branches according to their professions, and these branches find and vote for the nominees in their respective categories. For example, only actors vote for the acting categories, such as Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Supporting Actress. Directors vote for Best Director and photographers for Best Photography, and so on. This ensures that the awardees have an in depth understanding of that particular genre. The Academy presents awards in 24 categories each year, though the number was varied over time, and there are also additional awards presented in separate ceremonies. The Oscars are often considered a milestone in a filmmaker's career. An Oscar winning artist receives more opportunities, which also helps to increase the income of the films they worked on. As mentioned, this award aims to evaluate and recognize the excellence of the film and the talent of everyone who worked on it. Each award is given annually by voting and selecting from the films released that year. The award recognizes merit in various departments of filmmaking, such as direction, acting, screenplay writing, photography, editing, music scoring, art direction, makeup, costume design, visual effects, etc. The award is given to the artist who creates it. The contribution of everyone who works in front and behind the camera is crucial to the success of a film, and the Oscar is a recognition of that factor. That is its relevance, which is why the Oscars continue to be a symbol of excellence in the world of cinema. This video ends here. Let's talk about Wings, the film that won the first Oscar for Best Picture, in the next video. If you like it, please subscribe and share it with other movie lovers. Thank you and see you again. Ciao.